Hello! I'm here to make a couple of... I'm not animating them out here, I talk too fast. A couple of announcements about what I'm up to. In case you're unaware of it, my main comic, Sunjackers, finished a couple of weeks ago. You can now read it from start to finish and have a complete story. I'll be coming back to this world at a later date, don't worry. You'll get more sad cyberpunk future horses, whether you like it or not. Just later. This leads to the obvious question, where is the printed edition of Volume 3? Well, you're gonna have to wait a little bit for that. Since I started shipping Volume 2 in, 2 years ago, the business of sending stuff around the world has gotten a lot more complicated. Etsy, where I've been selling my stuff, has been getting increasingly hard to work with, and the cost of shipping has doubled since 2021, and so is the paperwork involved. And Volume 3 is probably going to be about a 70-page book, which is heavy at A4 size. Like, this thing's probably going to be around 700 grams. So, shipping is going to be a pain, and it's going to be an expensive upfront purchase. For this reason, I'm contemplating doing an Indiegogo campaign instead of opening pre-orders through Etsy. But I don't know how you guys feel about this, so please leave a comment if you have any strong feelings about whether I should or should not do this. Like, please, I'm actually asking for opinions here. Add to this that I'm going on holiday in October, and I have to typeset like 70 pages of comic, and it's going to be November at the earliest. If the Indiegogo goes well, I can move on to doing a complete edition of Spitfire finally, because that is going to be a thick one. Big announcement number 2! My next comic is going to be Stardust! If you're coming in off Sunjackers, Stardust is my board game set in the good timeline, where the sun doesn't disappear. Concord here gets to go to space, and everything's mostly nice. If you're coming in from Spitfire, Concord is the child of Spitfire and Soren who grows up to be an astronaut. And if you're watching this like, wait, you do comics? Then let me give you the pitch. Stardust is about the first mission of Concord, a young astronaut in the new age of space exploration. Man flights to Mars and stuff. This isn't really an adventure or survival story, it's more of a slice-of-life, coming-of-age kind of story about how they balance their dream of going into space with everything else in their life. It's just kind of chill, you know? Also, they have flip phones and everything looks like Planet of the Base because I cannot be prevented from drenching everything in Y2K cheese. It makes me happy, okay? I'm aiming to start Stardust in September and run for about a year, maybe less. The test pages have been very quick on the production line. And by then we'll see where we are. Speaking of board games, announcement number 3 is a bit of a late one because I made this last year and they've actually been on sale on the GameCrafter this whole time. But I have 2 more expansions for Thunderdrome. Thunderdrome is my game about racing Wonderbolts. It's like this. I have a video about it here. Anyway, final stage comes with Candy Chip and Throttle Trek and features shortcuts that you can shuffle into the track deck. And New Order comes with Sunny Star Scout and Zipstorm and features traps for damage if you land on them. If you want to try before you buy, they're on Tabletop Simulator mod. And also, these boxes are tiny, which makes them good for conventions. I feel very silly about leaving it so late to announce these. If any of this sounds of interest to you, I highly encourage you to check out my Patreon. It's the thing that pays my bills and makes sure I'm working on these horses for your enjoyment instead of, like, being a tour guide or something. Patrons get access to my Discord server where the community is frankly lovely, especially if you like discussing my work deeply, and escalating rewards include your name in the credits posts like this. Postcards every few months, sketches from my monthly streams, free merch when I remember to come out with new stuff, and you, yes you, can show up in the background of my stuff, like Stardust. You too can be a background pony. Patrons are also the first to hear about news from me. Anyway, this is a lot to do, so I gotta go! Ah!